Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm back with a Magic the Gathering intro pack from 2015 core set. These were put out as a way to help new Magic the Gathering players get into the game. They're a 60 card pre-constructed deck. This one is Hit the Ground Running, features blue-green combination, also includes two 2015 booster packs. On the back, a little bit of description of what's in the intro deck. Hunt bigger game. This was the theme in 2015 as Garruk was a big planeswalker getting out there hunting other planeswalkers. Hit the ground running. Roll your opponents over with a host of creatures that make an impact upon entering the battlefield. Then use the spells that return creatures to your hand to do it all again. I don't know. Blue is not necessarily a color that I think of when I want to overwhelm my opponent with creatures. Definitely green, but let's get into this. I'm going to take a look at the intro deck, the two booster packs I'll open later on this week. Be watching out for those videos. I'm going to go ahead and open at the bottom. I found it was the easiest way to open these intro decks. The two 2015 core set booster packs. The intro decks came with a couple of fold outs. First was a rules reference card, had information on how to play the game, glossary of terms. This one would fold out and give a description of each of the 5 intro decks that you could purchase for a set. On the front side, you get a description on the theme of the set. This one in particular was Hunt Bigger Game, featuring Garruk as he travels across the multiverse, taking down planeswalkers. Tells you that you can boost your pre-constructed deck with the 2 booster packs that were included. On the back side, gives a checklist of each of the cards in the 5 intro decks. And in core set 2015, there was a white-black intro deck, a blue-green intro deck, which is the Hit the Ground Running deck we'll take a look at, Infernal Invention, black-red, Flames of the Dragon, blue-red, and finally Will of the Masses, white-green. Underneath each of the checklists for the deck would be a description of the deck and sometimes a little bit of information on how you could improve upon the deck. Each pre-constructed deck would have 2 rares. The first one would be a foil version of the regular rare in the set. The second rare would be hidden somewhere in the deck. Most often the intro decks just contain bulk cards, either commons or at commons. Occasionally an intro deck would have a decent uncommon or 2, and maybe even a decent rare. For any card in this intro deck that's over $1, I'll put the value down below. Mercurial Pretender leads it off. 5 mana for a 0/0 shapeshifter. I can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature I control, except for it retains the ability to return it to my hand with 2 and 2 blue, replay it, copy another creature. Sort of way to dodge removal. Oh wow, right up front is the second rare. Stormtide Leviathan has been reprinted over numerous sets, holds little value if any, but if I can get this thing out on the battlefield, I can pretty much guarantee that I'll win the game. Put those 2 right there side by side, get into this. Fugitive Wizard, copy of that. Research Assistant, Runeclaw Bear, typical bear, 2 mana for a 2/2 bear in green. Satyr Wayfinder was a card that was pretty good in the Theros standard environment. Great way to fuel your graveyard. It might still retain a little bit of value, but nothing close to $1. Coral Barrier, couple copies of that. Frost Lynx, 2 copies of those. Illusionary Angel. When this card first came out, I thought this was going to be a bomb uncommon. It's an okay card, but you've got to cast at least a spell during your turn prior to casting this. I'm not casting this on turn 3. If anything, I probably can't cast it until turn 5 or turn 6. Invasive Species, great way to trigger the enter the battlefield ability. Reclamation Sage. Now this was an uncommon that had quite a bit of value for a little bit of time. A cheaper acidic slime to get out and destroy an artifact or enchantment. Roaring Permadox, Shaman of the Spring, 3 copies of that. 4 mana 2/2, huh? I get a draw card, I see. In green, make the creature a little bit more expensive to get that card. Capsho Kite Fins, 6 mana Flyer, Carnivorous Moss Beast, and then in each intro deck, I'd be provided with enough land to play. My guess is that this is probably 26 basic lands. Let me count it out. 13 islands. Let me guess, 13 forests. No, I was off. Only 12. So 25 basic lands to run this deck. And then rounding out with some spells. Negate, one of my favorite cards when it comes to countering spells. Peel from Reality. I played this quite a bit when I first started in Magic. Turn to Frog, hilarious card. Pretty much the best you can do removal-wise in blue. Plummet, Encrust, Into the Void, another card that I played a lot of when I started in Magic. Meteorite, and rounding it out with Restock. All right, that is a look at the Hit the Ground Running intro deck from Magic the Gathering Core Set 2015. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and share. Tell me in the comments section what you think about the Magic the Gathering 2015 Hit the Ground Running pre-constructed deck. Tune in next time to see what I crack.